Welcome to Dead Man Talking. Tonight's story, we welcome back our brother from another mother, a Mr. JGrupe, from over on Reddit, No Sleep. And some big news for you guys is that JGrupe has now started his own narration channel, and has to be one of the top 10 writers over on Reddit, No Sleep. Links for that are of course in the description box below. Make sure you smash the subscribe button and let him know that I sent you. As ever though, please do let us know what you thought down below in the comments box. Please do like and share. It really does help build the channel and our community further. And why not hashtag TeamFEAR and DMT's Cryptid crew. And so, with that aside, let's get into tonight's story. Entitled, I'm a border patrol agent. This is the deadliest part of the desert. Let's get straight into that. Working as a border patrol agent is a scarier job than most people think, especially during the late night shifts. I work in an area where there is a lot of action, including smuggling of people, guns, drugs, and other illegal material. There are cartel operators and coyotes, gangs and lone wolves, and everything in between. During these overnight shifts, I was thankful when I had the opportunity for company, even if it was in the form of a Green Guild trainee. And Jake, he was as green as they come. A quiet night tonight, he was saying, looking out the windshield desperately, hoping for someone or something to challenge our authority. So, when are we going to see some action? You don't want action, kid. Trust me. But before tonight is done, we'll run into something. This is the witching hour. The players come out this time of night. But what if we need to change spots? Maybe they saw us here and... Quiet, Jake. You need to keep quiet or you give away our location. Nobody knows we're here. If we drive away now, we're going to spook them. Now just watch and learn, okay? There's a reason they put you with me tonight. You wanted your first collar. Well, here's where you're going to get it. I was struck by a familiar feeling of deja vu. The same scene playing out over and over again in this truck. Well, maybe one day it will be different. Maybe one day I'd get to retire. He settled down, moping in the passenger seat. The kid didn't understand the job. He didn't know what it was like to sit out here alone, surrounded by desert hills with no backup for miles and miles. These old cliffs and low mountains were dotted with mine shafts and tunnels, blasted out of the sand and stone long before we were born, and they afforded plenty of places to hide. There were people who wanted us dead out here in this desert, and they will be glad to have the chance to make that happen. One spot in particular caught my eye. At the same time, Jake noticed it. Hey, did you see that light? No. Look, right up there, he said, pointing right next to my face, his index finger indicating an obvious orb of light. Nope, don't see anything. You know what? Maybe we should move after all. He jerked his head down as if afraid of being spotted. They're looking right at us, I think. No, doesn't look like they can see us. Of course not, I thought to myself, because this is a good spot to hide. That's why I come here. How many are there? I asked, resigned to the fact that this was happening now. We were going to pursue them, or at least he was going to pursue them. It looks like 2, maybe 3 at most. Smugglers, by the look of it. Okay, I said. Now don't do anything stupid. Just stay put and let me call it in. We'll get back up out here. They'll be gone by the time they arrive. Come on, the 2 of us can stop them. He cracked open his door slowly and then got out. I had the interior lights rigged to stay dim so that it wouldn't give away our location to anyone. He closed his door as silently as he could, the soft sound of the metal clinking back into place indicating he was really leaving. I just sighed, knowing how this was going to go. It always seemed to go the same way. That deja vu feeling struck again, but only for a second, as I ran to catch up with the kid. Slow down. You need to stay hidden for an approach like this. We're too out in the open. And he ignored me, continuing his trajectory as if I weren't even there with him. I'm trying to help you. Just listen to me. Gonna get yourself killed. Well, he kept marching stubbornly forward, and I saw where he was headed. One of the black holes cut out of the face of a mountain was straight ahead. An old mine shaft that had been out of use for decades. They're heading out of that tunnel. We need to cut them off before they get there, he said, like a character in a play who was committed to saying the lines he had rehearsed, despite the improvisations of the other cast members. His breath was growing laboured. He sounded like he was getting winded already, and we hadn't even started chasing anyone yet. Adrenaline can give you a lot of strength and speed, but it doesn't last long, and when that endorphin rush is over, you're way more tired than you would normally be, and that was why I tried to stay calm in situations like this. But I didn't have time to teach him that lesson yet. We finally reached the doorway to the mine shaft, after a long, long hike. The smugglers he had seen had made it there a few minutes before us and had given no indication of noticing our path towards them. Still, I got the feeling they knew we were coming. And despite my years on border patrol, they knew this desert a hell of a lot better than us. Okay, what's next, boss? Jake said, looking at me as we stood outside the tunnel entrance. It's not up to me, Jake. You already made this decision yourself. I told you we needed backup. You didn't listen. Oh, come on, man. Just think about how excited everyone at the station's going to be when they see we caught these guys by ourselves. They probably have a bunch of cocaine or heroin or something. And we'll be heroes. Don't do it, kid. Please, just listen to me. He didn't listen. Instead, he went straight inside the tunnel, and I stupidly followed after him. We kept our flashlights off, moving towards the sounds of voices echoing in the distance. It sounded like two men having a conversation. They were laughing and joking, and I could hear glasses clinking, as if they were celebrating something with a toast. We got him, man, Jake whispered, his gun drawn. I could see his hands trembling, his legs wobbly with each nervous step he took going forward. The sounds of their voices grew louder as we drew closer. And with each step, I felt more certain of what would happen next. Like a jump scare in a horror movie, I knew it was coming, but I didn't know exactly when. And then it really did begin to play out like a movie. We rounded a corner to find two men sitting in front of a small fire. They were drinking and laughing, smoking hand-rolled cigarettes, which were clenched in their yellow fingers. Hands up! Get 'em up now! Border Patrol! You're both under arrest! Jake was yelling at the two men as they put their hands in the air, cigarettes dangling from their lower lips, and they didn't look particularly worried. Under arrest? For what? One of them asked in broken English. We're just camping here. You Americans have laws against camping. Jake's gun began to lower slightly, as if he was taken aback by the question. But a second later, he raised it at their heads again, as if remembering who he was and what we were doing out here. You two came across the border illegally. I saw it. And I'm guessing by those bags you were carrying that you had something with you, something heavy. What bags? Did you see any bags? The two men were looking at him as if he were an idiot, and Jake looked uncertain again. There was another man, Jake. You said 2 or 3 of them, remember? He didn't seem to hear me. Instead, he went towards the 2 men, getting within arm's reach of them both. Alarm bells began to ring in my mind as I thought about the danger he was putting himself in. And then the other man emerged from the side tunnel, his gun raised. Hey, drop it! Jake yelled, but those were the last words from his mouth. 3 loud shots rang out in the tunnel, the echoes reverberating painfully and piercing my ears until I felt like my eardrum would explode. Jake was on the ground a moment later, bleeding out. His blood was so dark in the dim light that it almost appeared black, like crude oil leaking from the floor beneath him. You shouldn't have come here, a voice said, and another shot rang out. I felt a hollow ache in my gut, an emptiness where the bullet had been. I remember falling to the floor in this exact spot where I stood now. I remember the pain of the shot, now just a distant memory. And the voices of the men fleeing the tunnel were loud at first, and then grew quieter as they disappeared into the distance. My heart was thumping fast as I looked down at Jake, the blood pouring from his mouth, dribbling down his chin as he coughed and sputtered, saying, "I'm sorry, boss. I should have listened to you." "It's okay, kid. It's gonna be okay. You're gonna make it, I promise. You're gonna see your mum again, just like I promised her this morning. I'm gonna take care of you." Then my voice trailed off as his breathing slowed, and then stopped. One more ragged, crackling inhalation could be heard as he tried desperately to fight off death. The exhale came, wet and bubbling. But it was nothing else after that. He was dead. I left him there. As I walked back towards the truck through the darkness of the desert, I couldn't help but lift up my shirt at the bottom, fingering the scar where the bullet had gone in. All these years later, it was still there, like a trophy, a souvenir of something awful. And the truck was up on the hill, dim and quiet. I marched towards it and got in, catching my breath as I sat down. Memories of what I'd seen played out in my mind. Everything so real I could practically reach out and touch it. I just wished I could forget those memories. I wished I didn't have to relive them over and over again. I wished I didn't have to see all of my mistakes, and all the things I could have done better. The ways I could have saved him, over and over again, replaying like a movie I'd seen 1,000 times before. The stories of this area of the desert are plentiful. There's a lot of action that happens around here, and I don't just mean illegal border crossings. There's another border we seem to share, and the lines are blurry at this time of night between the world of the living and the world of the dead. More than one Border Patrol agent has told me they've seen ghosts in this exact spot. A lot of them describe the same person, a young recruit who looks eager and ready for duty. He's a bit green around the gills, but he's clearly motivated. He wants to do good. He wants to help people. I guess I'm the one who sees him the most, though, which is fitting, since I'm the one who his mother blamed for his death. A chill ran down my spine as I felt eyes watching me from the passenger seat. I saw a flash of white light appear beside me. Fear gripped me anew. Even though I liked to pretend this was all normal, it didn't get any less terrifying when it happened. Still, I felt like I owed it to Jake to give him a little taste of real life again, even if it was repetitious, like a movie being played on loop over and over again. Usually he didn't make 2 visits in one night, but tonight was special. It was the anniversary, and it was the witching hour. That time of night when the veil gets so thin you can see right through it. You can reach out and touch what's on the other side. Quiet night tonight, Jake said from the seat next to me. So, when are we going to get some action? Wow. Suddenly another one. Wow. Short but absolutely chilling. A quite heartbreaking story there from the incredible mind of our good friend, Mr. JGrupe. From over on Reddit, no sleep. As I mentioned before in the intro, guys, Jordan has set up his own channel now, where you'll find lots of his incredible stories. And from the man, the myth, the legend himself. Please do take a second to click the link of which I'll leave in the description box below. That'll take you over to his channel. Why not throat punch the subscribe button and the notification bell to stay up to date with all posts. As ever, please do let us know what you thought down below in the comments box. Please do like and share. Well, it really does help both the channel and our community further. Why not hashtag TeamFEAR and DMT's Cryptid crew. If you have a story to share with us all, please do get in touch with me at the contact email, which is as on screen. contactthedeadone@gmail.com. I really look forward to hearing from you. As always, guys and girls, many thanks for your patience and dedication to this channel. Going to try and get through some comments over the next few days and try and build up a repetition of doing so. And as ever, I hope you're all well and happy and taking a fight back to life and pushing towards greatness. Above all, guys, much love and respect. And remember, be safe, not sorry.